All right, we're at the pilot over here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it is freezing degrees outside. I would say probably 20, maybe 19. We're gonna go walk across this way to get some coffee, clean up a little bit, and then we're gonna roll out of here. All right. All right, today we have a mission, and our mission is to get to as close to our receiver as we can, depending how much we want to. So we can make it the whole way through. It's a 9-hour drive, but I still have to be there tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, you know, I wake up very early, so I'm gonna spread it out just a little bit. Probably do about 7 hours today, and then shut down somewhere in Pennsylvania. And then tomorrow, sleep in. I might sleep in until like 5 o'clock. Holy mackerel. And then head on into the receiver, you know, after I take a shower and get all squared away. The time now is about 4:30 in the morning, I believe, and this is late for me. I should be up earlier than this, but man, it was so cold outside and the heater is so warm. I didn't want to wake up. All right, so I'm gonna get rolling here. All right, I'm gonna get some coffee and I'm gonna put you on my head, and then we'll go driving. All right, but actually I'll put you on my head probably during the daylight. That way you can see the roadways. So you'll be on the dash mount for a little bit, and then I'll put you on my head. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not a subscriber, all right? If you have any comments, please leave them below. Alright, so I am at a basic rest stop here on the highway of Interstate 70, and I'm doing pretty good on time. I have about 439 miles to go to my destination, to my receiver, which I'm not going to go full throttle and get there today because my appointment's not until Monday, as everybody already knows. So I'm going to go ahead and cruise for about maybe another 5 hours, 6 hours. I've been driving for about 3.5, 4 hours right now, and there's really no need to get there, you know, so close, because I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that, even though I slept in today about 2 hours more than I wanted to. So let's see here. I'm gonna get over, and it looks like the man in the red tractor is gonna let me through. Very nice of you, kind sir. So the weather now is 21 degrees. I am in Dayton, Ohio, or at least I'm close to Dayton, Ohio. What is up with that window? is 21 degrees at around 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. So anyway, a little bit about Variant. I want to talk about Variant a little bit because I had some people ask me questions when I was at the truck stop, and I think they're new subscribers. So hey guys, thank you so much. So Variant, you know, I was asked about Variant. You know, hey, how do you like the company? Do they call you nonstop? Do they harass you? Blah blah blah. You know, how are the dispatchers? And I always correct them and I tell them, well, number one, to be quite honest with you, there's no dispatchers in Variant. You know, if anything, they're considered case managers because they take care of you and they take care of your load. I've never had an issue. I mean, I've had maybe one issue, but I've had many loads with them, so, you know, nobody's perfect. But, you know, they ask if they call me nonstop and all this. Well, as you guys know, I've been on the road since, what, Friday with this one load here. And I don't know why this window just keeps on messing up. But anyway, I've been on the road since Friday, and I have not heard from Variant, and I don't want to, you know, because I'm on the road, I'm doing my job. There's no need to call me up unless there's an emergency or they have information to give me in reference to this load. But they communicate very well by the message system that we have. So, yeah, you know, I never call them unless I have to. You know, as an example, yesterday I was in Illinois and I was on Highway 40, and don't ask me the city that I was in, but anyway, it was very icy and we were diverted to that highway from the police because there was a car accident, whatever. So I was stuck on this road that would take about 2 miles to get back on the interstate in another direction for an hour, just about, right? And so as I was sitting there, I'm thinking, man, let me go ahead and communicate with Variant. Let me let them know what's going on, because if they are looking at the computer, they're probably wondering, why is Bud just sitting there? I went ahead and gave them a call, or I gave them a instant message from the computer while I was stopped, and I said, just an FYI, I'm sitting in traffic. I've been stuck here for about an hour due to heavy ice on the roads. All right, so I let them know by message that I'm okay, whatever, I'm just stuck on the highway, just in case they were wondering, right? So they replied back, and they said, 10-4, be safe, thank you. And that is the main key to this company, is communication. You know, they want you to communicate with them, and but not all the time. You don't need to. I think it's the hot air coming out of my mouth. That's why my window's getting fogged up. So basically, you know, they leave you alone. You know, they know you're on a trip. They're not going to continue asking what's your ETA and whatnot. They see the computer, and me giving them that little bit of communication on the computer, you know, I'm sure the team there, which consists of about maybe 4 or 5 people, I think, I'm not even sure, but I know about 4 or 5 of them on the team of my squad, and they probably relayed the message like, hey, that was Bud, you know, he's on, you know, he's stuck on ice. And if they remember me from last year, man, I had so many snow issues and ice issues. But anyway, that's what it is. That's how it is in Variant. Communication is the key. Oh, I do want to say that, you know, they don't give you any stress, because a lot of companies give you stress. I was working for a company at one point, man, they gave me stress because the managers never knew what truck drivers go through. They just sat behind a desk. These guys are all prior, you know, truckers. Well, they have, you know, the people that are in operations, the case managers, they have husbands who are truck drivers or wives who are truck drivers, whatever the case is, so they understand what you're going through. So, you know, when you're on the highway like this and you're traveling very long distance away from your family in the snow and the ice and the rain, it gets a little bit stressful for you. You know, it's a dangerous job out here, and everybody's got to be, you know, respectful and give courtesy to each other. Here's another courtesy, a practice of being courteous. There's a truck on the side of the road here. I think it's a tow truck. I'm not really sure until we get up there. You know, as a truck driver or any kind of vehicle, you want to move over to the next lane. Give this person the courtesy to fix his flat tire or whatever. See, look, he's a tow truck driver and he broke down. So these things happen. And then you get on over, use your signal, look in the mirror, and then you do your thing. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching the channel. look at that white SUV right there, passing that trucker. Now, I wish I would have filmed it, but that driver cut me off. You know, those are things that I don't understand why people cut off trucks. I mean, don't they know we can have, we're in excess of all the way up to 80,000 pounds rolling down the interstate at around 68 miles per hour, and some trucks, they have no govern. My engine's governed. Right now, if I go on cruise control, it'll go to 68 miles per hour. But if I'm to the pedal to the floor, it'll go to 65. Now that might not seem fast to you, but when you're traveling down this highway and you have 77,000 pounds on your back, you know, I don't see a point going 80 miles per hour. I really don't. I mean, it's just a safety thing, you know, so I understand why companies do it. Now I'm going downhill right now, and the speed limit is 70, so I'm going 68 because I'm on cruise control. But as you can see, it's going to 69. It'll probably hit 71. You know, it's at 70 now. You know, you have to use judgment. I mean, it's a straightaway shot. It's not like a bunch of curves, so I'm fine with it. But if it was a curvy road and I have all this weight, well, then I will let off the cruise control. You know, maybe hit my Jake brake so I can slow down a little bit so I don't overturn my truck. Man, I tell you what, today I was going around a hill and a pop-up came on the computer and it said, it was like a big yellow screen. I've never seen this before. I think it's a new thing for the software, but it said, caution, overturned truck area. And they showed a truck, like a little, not a cartoon, but like a, you know, a box figure that flipped over. Man, I was like, holy moly. And it wasn't that bad of a turn, to be honest with you, but at one point it did cut pretty tight. So I can see where, you know, problems can exist. But yeah, I don't see why, look at that guy. I don't know if you see him on the camera, but he's still, now he's tailgating another car. I mean, come on, man. You're gonna get there, I promise. I have 102 miles to go until I hit another part of this interstate. I'm on I-70 eastbound, just past Columbus, Ohio, sorry. Yeah, it's definitely my hot breath hitting that darn window that's fogging it up. Down the mountain. And I see a school bus behind me, and he was like on my tail. I mean, on my tail. And now he went over, and now he's back behind my tail. And now I'm going up the mountain, and I dropped from 70 to 66 real quick, just because of the weight, and now he's on my tail again. Kind of scary, isn't it? Look at him. And he is a CDL driver too. You have to have a commercial driver's license to operate a school bus. And here he is now. Young driver. No kids in the school bus, which is good. Well, at least he put his signal on. I flashed him to say, yeah, you're good. And he didn't, oh, he gave me the thank you signal, which is cool. But if I were to talk to that driver, I would say, man, I appreciate the courtesy, but you shouldn't be tailgating me like that. Hopefully he drives a lot better when there's children in the school bus. All right, well, I have 4 hours and 11 minutes left before I have to take a mandatory 30-minute break. And if I did not have to do that break, and I kept on going straight to my destination, which I'm not going to do, I would have about 362 miles to go. Figure 6 more hours, and I would be at my destination, maybe 6.5 due to traffic. But I'm gonna give myself 2 hours to get there tomorrow morning, and I'll shut this guy down at during my 30-minute break. I'll just take a 10-hour break, and I'll probably end up at a Love's or a Pilot so I can get a hot shower and get a good parking spot. Because by the time I finish, it's 9:30 now, so 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. there'll be plenty of parking at the truck stops. You know, that's one thing I really enjoy driving at nighttime. You know, waking up early, like around 2 o'clock in the morning, and doing my 10 hours or 11-hour drive. Yeah, when I drive at nighttime, I leave around, what, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you do the math, 10 hours later, you're looking at plenty of time to get to a parking spot. Because in the United States, man, we are overcrowded at truck stops. We really are. And you know what? Last night, let me tell you what happened. So I'm in Indianapolis, and you know, I'm managing my hours, knowing that I'm way ahead of schedule, and it started to snow pretty heavy where I was at. So as I'm traveling, going about 45 miles per hour in a 65-mile-per-hour zone, you know, I see cars that are just driving recklessly and all that. I'm like, you know what? Why am I even pushing it when I have all the time in the world? I'm just gonna get shut down. Well, I wasn't the only one thinking that. Because when I ended up at the Pilot, I cruised into the parking lot. As you saw the video, it was packed. Man, there was trucks all over the place. Well, I noticed an opening, like a parking spot for my truck. Right when I entered, I'm thinking, fantastic, I'll park right there. Well, as I'm trying to do a 45-degree angle into the parking spot, man, I just couldn't do it. You know, my tandems are not all the way up towards the front of the trailer because I'm very heavy. So they're probably like in mid-range. So it does make it a little bit difficult to jackknife a little bit there and push your trailer back into a spot. So I attempted it a couple times. I'm like, you know what, cut your losses. I'm not gonna jump a curb or, you know, get in trouble here and hit something, because it was snowing pretty thick. So I went ahead and moved around the parking lot, and I found an opening. And it was in the middle of a line of trucks, but there was more room to do my 45-degree backing. So anytime I go to a truck stop, now it's starting to snow, how about that? Anytime I go to a truck stop, it says truckers use left lane. I have ADD. All right, so anytime I go to a truck stop, I always look on the curbs or signs saying reserved parking only. You know, Pilots and Loves and TA and all these other truck stops, they have reserved parking for truckers, but they charge you money, anywhere from, you know, 12 to like 20 bucks. So like I said, I saw that space that was available, and I immediately looked around looking for that reserved parking sign, and I did not see a sign anywhere. So I backed up, did my thing, shut her down, right? So I fell asleep, and about, I don't know, 4 hours into my sleep, I get a bang on my door. Boom, boom, boom. Like when I was a cop, you know, do a search warrant. I jumped out of bed. I'm like, man, that's how you get yourself a little hurt. But I jumped out. Well, I didn't jump out. I jumped out of my bed, and I looked out the window, and it's a security guard. And I said, what's up? And he goes, yeah, you're parked in reserved parking. I was like, no, I'm not. There's no sign. No, this is reserved parking. I said, well, where's the sign at? And then he points to the sign, and I wish I would have taken a picture of it, because the sign was ran over by a trucker, and it was dug into the mud. This super trucker here wants to use the right lane to pass me. Super trucker is not a good term, by the way. So anyway, I said, that sign says reserved parking? He goes like, yeah. I'm like, well, I mean, if I were you, I would, you know, post that sign back up so people know it. And I don't want to sit there and fight with a guy, man. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, it's snowing. And I said to him, how much is the parking here? He's like, 12 bucks. I think he said 12 or $15. I was like, man. So I had to put my you know, I had to put my jeans back on, get dressed because it's snowing. It's like 10 degrees or 17 or 19 degrees outside. So I got bundled up. I had to walk out there, go go inside of the truck stop and pay for private parking or reserve parking. And man, I really wish I would have recorded all that, especially when he knocked on my door. And he didn't knock on the door because, you know, this truck has a sleeper, right? And there's a window. Man, he banged on the darn window. Boy, I was so mad. All right, as you can see, there's a lot of construction going on here. And truckers are supposed to maintain the left lane for the next 5 miles or so. And I've been on here for probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles. But it's not too bad, just a little bumpy. But yeah, so that was my event from last night. All right, you guys, I hope you're enjoying the ride. You know, hey, you're keeping me company. You know, it gets lonely out here. You know, some people have teams. You know, and I don't know if I could actually have I got a buddy of mine who wants to be a team. Ruben, you know who you are. You know, he's not with Variant. He wants to be with Variant, and I think he's going to try, and I hope he does, because it's a very good outfit. He'll make some good money. But I told him, yeah, you know, I'll do a team with you. And with him, yeah, I probably would. He's a good driver, you know. I trust him. Really good family man. He knows about me. He knows about my family. So if we team up, we'll make some decent money together for sure. But, you know, at least you have company when you have a team. I see a lot of guys out there. Oh, super trucker on the right. So, you know, I see a lot of husband and wives that are in trucks together. That's pretty cool. Or sometimes truckers have a dog or a cat. I don't think I could do that, to be honest. I know there was one trucker last year, he made the news, or at least social media news. He had a pet pig in his tractor. And there was a post of him on Facebook, I think, or one of those social media outlets, and he had like a stairs or a ramp he would put up to his tractor door, and the pig would walk down the ramp to use the bathroom. Oh man, I couldn't do that, sorry. If I had a pet pig, I'd keep him in a barn, feed that boy a lot of food, and then I'd have some lechon with my family in the Philippines. All right, it stopped flurrying. Had a little snow back there, but it's gone now. All right, I think we're good to stay on the right lane, so let me go ahead and transfer over. I don't see no sign though, so I'm gonna kind of chill out for a minute. I don't want to be a super trucker. Let's see. No, I don't see nothing yet. I think it's only been about 3 miles. But the construction, end of road work. All right. So now I'll get over, because I'm sure cars behind me are like, come on, man, move over, move over. There you go, everybody. I moved over for you. Going uphill anyway. All right, just a man and his thoughts while driving a semi-truck through America. Hope you enjoy that. If you have any comments about what I had talked about, please let me know in the message in the comment section. I promise you I'll get back to you. Might take me a day, it depends on my hours. All right, everybody, stay safe out there no matter where you are in the world. Buckle up for safety, don't cut truck drivers off no matter where you're at. And it's starting to flurry again. It is 25 degrees. I'm hoping this flurry and kind of, I don't know, it's not gonna end. Look at the sky. The sky is gray, there's no sun. Oh, how I miss the Philippines.